has a place where gamers belong. Blasting through the sound waves. And more. Together, they are.
Good evening, everybody, and this is Team Rage.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us here on Team Rage Show, and tonight, or this morning, whatever it may be for you, we got a special guest with us. She is I want to say a sculptor and a photographer, all-around artist. Kathleen, I want to say Engelen. You asked me about my name before the show, and I didn't even ask you about yours. Sorry about that.
Hi, I'm Kathleen, yes.
How do you pronounce your last name so I don't butcher it?
It's Engelen. It's actually it's Angels. So my last name is Angels, and I made fairies. So.
Ah, very interesting. So, like I was saying, I actually have the slideshow going right now for people to see of your work. These fairies you sculpt, I believe. I know you do the dolls. They're called Belgian dolls.
Yes, but Belgian is actually because I'm from Belgium. So I'm the dolls are not Belgian, but I'm from Belgium. So I'm a Belgian doll artist.
Okay, yeah. So I misread the text there. So the dolls themselves. How do you like start the process? Do you just come up with an idea and go, or?
I have a lot of ideas. So I have a folder filled with pictures and ideas, and I write them down, and I collect pictures and stuff. And when I'm starting a project, I have an idea, an image in my head of how I want it to look and what it will be like. Sometimes it's inspired by other artists or just something, a flash of an inspiration I have when I'm just walking or something else, and then I start working it out. So the details, the further details, how it will it look, and I just sketch it on a paper, but not too realistically. Just some ideas that I write down, and then I start the project.
Okay, I will say that they are beautiful. I mean, I fell in love
Thank
with
you.
them when I found them on Elfwood, and then that led me to your website, and then that led me to sharing your website with everyone I knew. So,
Oh, thank you.
and I did notice on your website, I want to ask you this while I'm actually looking at your website. I went to the shop, and from there it talks. It like you sell jewelry, you sell photographs, photo prints, and you sell posters, and greeting cards as well.
Yes.
Do you actually sell the fairies, or is that something you hang on to?
Um, Normally I sell the fairies, but I have a problem letting them go, especially the ones that I like. So at the moment, I don't have any fairies for sale. So was just a solution. I tried to let other people enjoy my fairies, because when you sell your fairy, there's only one person that can enjoy it. They buy it, they put it on in their living room, and other people can't enjoy it anymore. So I figured out if they want, they can sell a poster or a postcard or anything else, just so they can enjoy my fairies too. So a lot of people can enjoy one fairy at the same time.
Okay, yeah. That's actually a really ingenious idea. I would have never thought of that. I would have just been, yeah, I created a fairy. There you go, sell it, or I would have kept it. That's just me. I would have probably kept them all. Um,
Yes, I have the same. I have the same problem actually. Especially the ones that I really like, and I'm just when I finish one, I just know it, and then I'm just like, oh, I'm never gonna sell this one.
yeah, because
But
the reason I asked that is because the lady who owns the radio station here, she when I was showing her these, she was like, "You got to ask her if she sells those fairies because I want to buy a couple."
yeah. But I have a lot of people asking me constantly, do you have anything for sale? Do you have anything for sale? And then I'm like, oh, no, not really. I work part-time as a graphic designer, so to be able to pay all my my costs, so to actually make a living. So I don't have the stress of really have to live on the work I make at my fairies. I want to be able to be free what I make and what I do with it, so I don't have the pressure of having to finish them and that they have to be sold and that yeah, that it has to be an income. So now I have the freedom, but it also is a disadvantage because I don't have that much time as I want to work on my fairies. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I actually skipped the first question that I planned to ask you, which is to tell us more about you. So let us
okay,
know about yourself.
okay. I'm 30-year-old. I'm a woman. I'm from Belgium. It's a country in Western Europe. It's right next to France, Germany, um, and Holland, and overseas we have United Kingdom. So that's where I'm located, and I've been sculpting for many years now. When I was a child, I started sculpting with the clay I'm working now with now. We also have this polymer clay for children, so you can make a lot of flowers and little bears and mice with it. So I did that when I was a child, and I also made some little fairies. And later on, I also um, I studied economics, but then I realized that I was a bit too creative for that, and then I started some. I went back to school to follow graphic design and web design, and a year ago I finished my studies on photography. So that's a bit in a nutshell who I am.
And I will add, you're extremely smart, especially when it comes to like names and meanings and all that. Because like you were telling me about my name, things I didn't even know. So you,
Yeah.
it's like one of those little quirks or hobbies that people have that most people don't know or most people don't do. It's just something that's unique about you.
If I have something else that is unique about me or something, you want to know something that other people don't know.
All right. So, you like you said, you've been sculpting since you were young. And how long does each of the sculptings take, or is it different
It,
for each one?
yes, it's different from for each one because some of the sculptures have um, yeah, like a tree behind them, or a little fairy house or something, and they take very long to make. And the fairy itself, a sculpture, is about 60 hours, but it also depends on the wings. The wings can take a lot of time, and sometimes you have easy ones to make, they're always different, and sometimes they can take a lot of time. But it's 60 hours, really working hours. So when I have the time and I use every time I have, sometimes it can take more than 2 months, sometimes even years because they're standing there and I have to finish them. And nothing really happens. So it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, I actually have a friend of mine who does a lot of artwork here locally, and his is more metal work and stuff like that. But he always says he likes doing pieces of individuals and stuff because he can put in individuality, and even if he like screws up at one little point or screws up some of the paint or this and the other thing, it gives it a uniqueness, like it's an actual human or an actual being. It's something unique about it.
Yes, yes, I agree. It doesn't always have to be perfect, and in my mind, it's just I just want it to look like this, and when it's finished, it's sometimes and I just go along with it, and it's true. It doesn't have to be. I try to make it perfect, but in the end, it never is. And when it's finished, I see the flaws, and then I'm a bit yeah disappointed in a way or not. But I don't know. It depends. It depends. Sometimes I'm disappointed because it's not perfect. But then when I have it for a while, I start to like it back again, and so I don't know. It depends.
All right, and do you? I know you touched on this a little bit when you were talking about the fairy houses and stuff. Do you make all the trinkets and stuff that's on the fairies, like the clothes, the ones holding the lantern that I seen? Do you make all that yourself, or?
Yeah, they're all made by me. I It's mostly the wire you see is metal wire, and yeah, and then it's painted and all the stuff. It takes a lot of time to build them, and also with a lot of trees and fairy houses, there are little lights, little LED lights. So I have to figure out how am I going to do this. I have an idea in my head of how it has to look visually, and then I start building it up, and yeah, I hope for the best that it will work out. And usually it does, but they're all made by me.
And Lady Winterwolf in chat actually has a question for you. She wants to know if you do custom orders.
Actually, no. I did. I don't like to do that, and I can tell you why. I don't know. I have an idea. I just want. I have so many ideas, and I just have, in my opinion, now already too little time to finish all my own ideas without having to make fairies for other people. So I'm a bit selfish in that way, and I think, well, maybe they should just get what I'm making. And also the problem is when people want a fairy and they try to describe it what they want, they're always asking for something for things that they all have already seen or that I have already made. And I'm like, oh, but you know what? I have a lot of better ideas than to make this, and it's not really motivating me. I can't be motivated for 2 or 3 months to work on something that somebody else actually wants. You know, you have to have the drive, and it's very boring actually to sculpt, and you have to get yourself there every time to work on for hours on it. So it just motivates me the fact that I can um, can put my own imagination into reality. That's why I do it. I want to show the world what I have inside my mind, what my very world looks like, and that's what I want to show. And also, other people have it in their mind what it should look like, and when it's finished, I don't think it will ever look like they have it imagined in their head. So I don't know. I think there's a high risk of disappointment there. So I just I just rather sculpt what I want.
Okay, yeah, that's very interesting because I was thinking the same thing as you. Because, like you said, sculpting is boring, but like everything that people love to do, it's got to be something of their own that in order for them to even want to do it. So
Yes, exactly.
Um, what was your most favorite fairy that you crafted?
My most favorite fairy is Anaïs. It's a French name, and she's sleeping. She's sleeping in a fairy house with little lights in them. It's not actually a house. I don't know how you call it. It's more like a cocoon, cocoon made with metal wire and then painted white. And it has little LED lights above her, and she's sleeping very. Mm, she's she's content, and I like that one best. She has the right atmosphere, because a lot of time the most important thing I want to show is the very atmosphere. It's very ethereal and quiet and yeah, and I don't know. That's the sculpture I like the most, because it shows the very atmosphere like I wanted to show it.
Yeah, I was actually looking on your website to see if I could find an image of that one you
Yes,
were just talking about, and I'm not
she's
seeing it.
with the large fairies, and her name is Anaïs.
Oh, okay, yes, I do see her, so I do have her in the slideshow already. That's one I think I already put in there. But if not, what I'm going to do is show everyone which one you're talking about. In fact, she's
Okay,
the main one you have on the website.
okay, that would be great.
It's that's the main image you have for your background of your website too.
Yes, yes. I'm saying it. I'm really selfish on this, so I just use what I like the most. So
That's the one she was just talking about. That's her favorite, folks. So leave that there for a second. Trying to think here. It's too early in the morning. Oh,
yeah, it
so
is.
yeah, that's the one. Let's see. I had another question for you. Did you go through a lot of trial and error when you first started doing this? That's from Lady Winterwolf in chat.
Oh yes, yes, definitely. Oh, it takes a lot of years to just um, to 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 get yourself better and yeah, to make it more perfect. The sculpting, there's always something you have to learn. The anatomics of people and the face, the hands. There's a lot of trial and error, yes. But I have to admit that I don't really had to throw a lot of things away, so that I couldn't use anymore. I always could fix something or just finish it, although I knew it wasn't exactly how I wanted it, but I always finished them. I don't. A lot of doll artists have unfinished dolls and on heads, doll heads and body parts in their closets, but I don't. I always finish them how they look, and I always think, oh well, it's not perfect, but I'll make it better next time, and that's how it goes. You always try to make a better work next time.
Yeah, there's actually two of your fairies are my best that I've seen, and I mean they're the best I've seen so far. My favorites, and that is Amaretta, and I'm trying to remember the other one's name. Yona. I think that's how you pronounce her name.
Joanna, is that Joanna?
Yona.
Yes, that's Joanna.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Joanna. It was an experiment. Every time I start a project, there's something I want to exercise more on, and this one was about the face. So I started. Normally, I like to use just my imagination to finish a face. It comes out of my hands, and it's really easy going. But that specific one, I use pictures, and I don't think you can recognize her in that. But I use pictures from Katrina Zeta-Jones, and she's absolutely not recognizable. But it was just an exercise for me to make the face more realistically. like I said, the other faces are more from my imagination, and they go what with my hand out of they just come out of popping out of my hands. But this one, I spent hours and hours working on the face. So was actually I was just so tired of it in the end. Was just like, oh my God, this is taking 4 hours and way too long.
Did
But
you? Is that one you sold, or is that one of the fairies you kept?
that one is sold, and actually that is one of the fairies I made on a commission. So there was I made it for someone that asked me to. I didn't really wanted to do it, but the woman was actually really ill. So I was like, okay, I'll do this for her. And that one was for on a commission. But I told you already, I rarely do that. So
And
and the other one you liked, that was Amaretta.
yes.
She was a very tiny fairy, and the also the face is I was experimenting with the smile back there. She has a yeah. That's Joanna you're showing right now.
I was showing Joanna there for a
Yeah,
minute so people could see that one.
yeah,
And Amaretta, trying to find her again.
yeah. I experimented with the smile there. She has a smile with an open mouth, and she looks really happy. So
And this is Amaretta.
she's already sold. Amaretta, she's also sold. I sold her in Dubai. I had an exhibition there a couple of years ago, and she was sold there to someone that came to look at the exhibition.
Yeah, I've seen that you do the exhibitions all over the place, from what I can tell. Then again, I ain't a geographer, so I don't know where all the cities are. But I seen you did Dubai. I seen you did in Czech Republic. I seen you did Belgium, of course, Netherlands, um, more Netherlands, more Belgium, Dubai.
Yes, most of the time it's in Holland or Belgium. And then a few years ago, I did an exhibition in Dubai. I was invited by the government there with a few other artists. We were with 15 artists from all over the world. So it was really an amazing experience. And in the end of this year, I'm going to Prague. So that's the Czech Republic, and I'm really looking forward to that. It's the first time I will be there, so I'm just curious how it will be.
Yeah,
I love it's actually I have to say it's one of the reasons why I do this. I really would like to travel the world with them, so I can show them to other people and see other cultures and meet other doll artists in other countries. So it's one of the reasons why I'm doing this. So it's not to be sculpting every day boring. It's also enjoyable because it gets you relaxed and in a sort of trance. Not really a trance, but just a sort of meditation, the sculpting part. But I love to go and take them out and show them to the world.
well, hopefully we are helping you with that by showing them to people, because our show is watched by people in Australia. It's actually, we got a host from Australia as well. It's also
Oh,
watched for
that's great.
people in America. We got a couple from Mexico. We got people from Canada. We got
Oh,
um,
that's great.
we got people from all over that watch the show. So hopefully it helps you out. Hopefully it gets you noticed, and you'll go on more shows soon.
Okay, that's great.
Um, I'm gonna bring Dr. Stone in here because he was supposed to be on air this morning too, but he was late to the party.
Okay.
Maybe I'll bring him on when he logs into chat. It's not showing him logged in yet, so He's in the chat room, but he's not in Skype. So um, it's one of the things we actually use multiple voice softwares because we have guests that have multiple different ones. So he's asking me in chat which one are we on this morning. So um, let's see here. What made you want to combine both your work with photography and your passion for the fairies?
Like I said, when I started sculpting the fairy, it takes a lot of energy and time, and it's very time consuming. And a lot of people were asking if they could buy them, and I just wanted to find a way to be able to let other people enjoy them as well. So, and also to have actually more income of it too. So like a kind of merchandising, and what also was a problem when I wanted to ship my furries, it was it's very difficult because it's very vulnerable and breakable, and it has to be, it's always a risk when you send them overseas, because most of my customers were from the United States, so they had to be sent over overseas, and it's not very easy to do that all the time, because you're very scared that they will get hurt. So I was just thinking if I could find a way to make something that isn't as vulnerable to send over. I also started painting fairies, but I was like, just, oh, that's not gonna work. And then I thought about photography, and that now I think I have now more the ability to show the atmosphere like I want it to be, because with the little lights, and it reflects better the atmosphere that I want to create. Because before, when you don't have the ability to take a picture very well, you just like with your little camera, and you take a picture and you put it on a table, and that's it. You can't create more atmosphere to it. So that's one of the reasons why I started to go back to school and study the photography.
Well, I will say, if you ever make a fairy that you don't want to keep, or you have a fairy you want to sell, let me know because they're
Okay.
all beautiful. I definitely want to own one. I have a sculpture collection of different pieces I bought over time. Most of them are dragons. I got a couple fairies. I got other fantasy works, and that's pretty much all my stuff is fantasy. And I will
Okay.
be buying a couple of your posters, that's for sure.
Oh, thank you.
And I want to know if I buy from the website, does it like go through another company that just ships out, or do you get it and
No.
then you got printed out and all that?
No. I have them around here. They are already printed out, and I do the shipment myself for now. So maybe if in the future, I hope when I get a lot of orders, I have to ask someone to do that for me, because I don't have time anymore. But for now, I'll do the shipment myself, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I wanted to see the prints before I ship them, so it gives me full control
Okay, well
over
then, if
everything.
if you touch them before they get shipped, then I'm going to ask you if I order um, a few of them, because what I want to do is not just get one for myself and one for a friend of mine, but I also want to get one to give away on the show. Um,
Oh, yeah,
and
great.
if I could order that many, would you mind autographing one or two of them for me?
Not, not a problem, not at all. I'll do that for you.
Thank you. That would be amazing. Let's see here. And welcome aboard, Dr. Stone. I seen you finally made it into the Skype call.
Yeah, thank you. Early morning for me, and my coffee's just now starting to kick in. So sorry I was late. Hello, Kathleen. It's a pleasure to
Hi,
hear your voice and get a chance to talk to you.
hi, Dr. Stone. You're very welcome, and I'm nice to meet you too.
Um, I do have a few questions for you, and please forgive me if I repeat myself because I missed the first 15 minutes of the show. But number one, I just want to say I love your work as well. It is absolutely beautiful, and
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. That
when
was nice to hear that.
when I've done some sculpting myself, not to the detail or the level that you have, and I do have an artistic background, and believe me, from one artist to another, you have definitely got a unique style, that one that I have not seen before, and I wish you well in your endeavor. But one of the questions I have is, um, are these in ceramic? What medium do you use for your sculptures?
No, they're not in ceramic. It's polymer clay. Like I said, you can. You also have these clay kind of clay for children too. So it's Fimo. I don't know if you know that, but the Fimo is actually from Germany. It's a German brand of polymer clay. Um, but you also have them for professional doll artists. So you have Pro Sculpt and Living Dolls, all kind of brands for this polymer clay, and you can work really detailed with it. So you can add many detailed features to it, to the sculpture. But it's also kind of vulnerable. You have to make it really strong, and you have to think really hard on the armature and the wire you're going to use before you get started. So when you have a project that you want to make, you have to think really good how you want to create it, and then make a frame of wire and then build around it. It's not, and also you can bake it in a kitchen oven, so you don't need a ceramic oven for to bake it. So it's
I've,
polymer clay.
I've worked with that type of clay before, and I understand exactly what you're talking about. A lot of forethought has to go into any project using that kind of medium.
Yes.
Now, the ones with where you're actually incorporating fabric, do you do the sewing of those, like the skirts and looks like some of the tops? Do you do that yourself, or do you have someone else that does that for you?
No, everything that you can see is made by me. I don't have anyone helping me or anything doing that other stuff for me. I also don't buy pre-prepared items to like say lace or something on it. It's just it's also not sewed on it. It's actually glued on it. I just it's also it's silk. I use silk for the fabric, and I just cut them and rip them to pieces, and I just it's not really neatly done, but it's just how I like it. It's I think about fairies. They're in nature, and it's very wary, and they're not really tidy. It's just worn out because they were flying all over the place. So yeah, that's my style, I think. And the corset, I don't know how you call it. It's a corset. You call it that way. The top of the dress.
Yes, it's a
Yes,
That's
corset.
yeah,
made that's
corset,
made of
yes.
clay. That's made of clay. So it's
Oh,
not.
okay.
Yeah. You and the lace I use in it of the I don't know how you call it the ribbons. They're actually clay. So they're like put little holes in it, and then I just make really tiny bits of clay, and it looks like it has lace in the corset. So, and there are a few fairies that have the top of the dress that is made of fabric. A few of them.
Yeah, I like the wild look you do give the fabric, like you're saying, you rip it because, you don't see fairies being an organized creature. They're definitely wild creature of the nature. Yeah, and that's one of the things I like about it. You have that touch of chaos going with the fabric and the design that you do. It's definitely a nice touch. Nice touch.
And I'll tell you how I came actually to this idea. I was working with the silk, and it's really neat, and I was working with it, and then I had a little bit of lace of silk next to me, and my dog, she just took it, and when I hadn't noticed. But then I saw her, and I was like, "Oh my God, the beautiful silk! It's all ruined." And I picked it up, and it was all smudgy, and she had a lot of fun with it. And I was, "Oh my God, no, this beautiful silk!" And I was like, "Oh, that's a great idea!" And I just started tearing it apart and rubbing it and throwing water on it and really making it worn out. So she actually brought me to this idea.
It's amazing where you get inspiration from, isn't it?
Yes, it's amazing, yes. Really.
Now, on the hair that you're using on some of the dolls, is that natural hair? Is that doll hair? Something your dog gave you? Where do you get that from?
Yes, it's possible because it's natural hair. I never use polyester hair or something synthetic. It's from real animals. It's Tibetan lamb's wool or something. It's from a kind of goat, and then they shave it off, and it has a little bit of a curl on the end of the hair, and I really like it. It's natural, because with the synthetic hair, it doesn't give you the natural feel that actually a fairy should have. And my dog has long hair too, so I could. I made a fairy. I made a doll with hair that came from my dog, but that's a really long time ago.
Sounds like your dog.
They can be used for everything in the dog.
I was going to say, it sounds like your dog is quite not only a supplier, but an inspiration for you on some of your work.
Yes.
How old were you when you first started the fairies?
I don't know the exact age I was, but I think I must have been a child. I don't know what age I was. But when I started the sculpting with the female, it was, first of all, it was the bears and mice and little play music boxes that I filled with little bears and play things with the clay. And then I started, a little bit later, I started sculpting little fairies on little glasses, wine glasses, etc. And then when I was I think it was back in 2003, it's more than, or maybe even longer ago, more than 10 years ago, I met a woman, and she made fairies with this clay, and she gave classes, and I was like, oh, I really want to take those classes. It was really, I was so amazed with what she did with the clay. I was so overwhelmed by it, and I started taking her classes. It were only 10 classes, I think, back then, and I was just so happy to be able to make this, and it was actually the most fun thing I did is sculpting the fairies. Afterwards, I took classes in making jewelry and sculpting other things, but I just wanted to sculpt the fairies. It was where my heart was.
All right. I got a question for you. So
go ahead, John.
Because we were talking about the wings earlier, the fairies, and how you were talking about you make them with the wire and everything. Are the wings hard to make? Because I noticed even on your tiny fairies, it's extreme detail that goes into the wings. Is it like really complex to make the wings? Are they like the hardest part, or is it something that's coming more naturally now?
It depends. The wings are always different. It's just a search for the perfect wing. Actually, I just have this image in my head of how a wing should look like, and I haven't found the technique yet to make my perfect wing. So it's always an experiment. I'm just trying things out, and every time it's different. So and sometimes it's quite easy. It's okay. It doesn't take too long, and it goes exactly like it should be going. But when I'm making a special doll, like for instance, I made a doll a couple of years ago in 2008 for a competition in Holland. It was in Ahoy in Rotterdam. It's a quite big competition around here, and I made those really difficult wings, and they took for ages to finish. So when you have a kind of special project to work on, you just make something special for the wings too.
Yep.
I'm watching. I'm
And
watching. Oh, go ahead.
but when I'm not
Oh, I don't know if we lost her or not. May have lost her. I can call her back.
Kathleen, if you can hear us, we just lost your voice, so we're trying
Yeah,
to get you back on.
and it says there's a problem with the call. They're trying to call back. Or Skype's trying to call her back. Sorry about this, folks. I went ahead and put her link in chat, so if you guys want to look at more of her work or purchase anything, head on over there. And alright, so let's see. Kathleen, you back?
Due to the silence, I would say that's a no. That's too bad. Hope we get her back. I definitely have some questions. I love her work. It's absolutely gorgeous.
I'm gonna try to do this. Hold on. End call with her. Add to group call. You there, Kathleen? Oh no. I hope she can get the call back.
Well, shall I sing while we have the, or maybe not. We want people to listen to the show, not run them off.
Oh, that didn't work. Try to get her back in. It's calling her. Oh no. You there, Kathleen? Okay. So I'm gonna go over the questions I asked her again. I asked her about herself. I asked her what exactly is the doll's, how long she been sculpting, uh, how long does it take to sculpt the fairy, does she make all the trinkets, stands for the fairies. She said she makes every piece of the fairy, every little detail, every little thing it touches, everything is made. I asked her about her favorite fairy. Does she sell fairies or just pictures? I asked her if what made
Does
her
she,
combine both photography and fairies.
yeah, does she sell?
The fairies, no, she doesn't have any that she can sell right now.
Ah,
All right, so let's see here. Okay, so she can't hear me. Um, Okay, so she's going to... She's like, I can't hear you. Like, yeah, we can't hear
Can't hear
you.
you either. Yeah. Uh, Technology, stop failing us. We speak so highly of you, and then you turn around and do this to us.
Let's see if...
Damn that technology.
Yeah, technology. You gotta love it.
Yeah.
It only
Hey, when
works half the time.
yeah. When it works, it's wonderful. When it doesn't, you just want to toss it out the window. I'm
Alright.
going over I've been over on her website, but now I'm looking at some of the other fairies that she does, and just her work is just absolutely phenomenal. Yes, and that's my daughter in the background. You probably heard.
Alright. They're trying to get her back into the call.
So she doesn't sell. She doesn't have any she sells, but she does sell, or she does on commission
Very,
base.
very, very rarely.
Very rarely.
And she used to sell, is what she said. So she probably won't anymore. But like I told her, I was like, if you ever want to sell one, let me know.
Yeah, that's when I came in. I heard you bartering there with her. Hey, but if she does posters, I mean, the photography and the posters, that'd be great to have some signed posters to be able to try to give away on the show.
Alright,
That's a great
so
idea.
it doesn't look like she's back with us. Let me try something. I'm going to end the call completely and try to pick up everyone individually.
Okay.
So, let's see here. Call. Let's see here. Alright, can you hear me now? You there, Kathleen? Oh no. Alright, you there, Kathleen? I can't hear her. No. Uh. Mm, try call her again. Alright, can we hear you now, Kathleen? I think we lost her. No. Can
I
you
see.
can you hear me though?
I can hear you.
Okay, because call quality for you, the meter's showing green. For her, it's showing yellow.
Whoa. Are you okay?
Nah, about sneezed my head off there.
I'm not gonna say
I
what
tried
that
to
sounded
mute.
like through my headset.
I tried to mute my microphone, but it was too late. It just happened.
Oh, I don't need to hear that early in the morning.
Uh, sorry about this technical difficulty, guys. I know you guys were interested in the show. It sucks that she's having technical difficulties with us. I don't know if it's because overseas or what, but
But definitely anyone who has a chance, go over to her website, because there's even more pictures of other pieces of hers, and it's just absolutely beautiful what she does. I love the expression she puts in the faces. It's definitely, you can tell this is something that just cast in a mold and mass produced. Each one of these are hand done. Each one's unique. They have their own personalities, their own characters. It's very well done.
Yeah, I tried to add just her in the call first to see if that would help. But no, it's something to do with being a call for overseas, I think.
She's in Belgium, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear us now, Kathleen? Because it shows you're back on, so.
I see her picture in the group chat, but we're just not hearing her at all.
Well, her thing came up just for a second. Let's see here. I'm gonna try and make the quality a little bit better. See if this helps. Since I'm the one hosting it, close this out. Trying to do everything in my power to make the call quality better. Sorry for this, guys. So while this is going on, I'm going to go ahead and talk more about her. She won the Doll Ring Award in 2008 in Ahoy, Rotterdam, in the Netherlands. Let's see here. Second place Fairy Fantasy Forum Challenge in 2008. Publications, I talked about that a little bit. Internet publications. I'm just gonna read the ones I can pronounce. Poppin' Winter 2008. She's been in several newspapers.
Hi.
Hey!
Hey, I'm back.
Yay!
She is. Welcome back.
Finally got it working.
You lost me for a couple of minutes, but here I am.
Yeah, it actually showed the call quality as being red there, and then it went to orange, and I was trying to call you back the entire time going, oh no!
Yeah, I couldn't hear anything. It was just some real weird sound, but I couldn't hear anything. But I'm back. I just logged out and logged in again. It's okay now. I hear you.
Cool. So,
Yeah.
so I just asked you about the wings, so you answered that. And Dr. Stone, you got any more questions for her? I know you do.
Yeah. You know me, I'm always full of questions. Kathleen, I was wondering, Tyne had explained to us while we were trying to get you back on that you do all the work on each doll, all the fabric, the jewelry, and everything like that. And I was wondering, since you do use a lot of natural fibers and fabrics, I take it that all the jewelry, the beadwork, those are all natural beads or glass beads?
Yes. I'll only use natural beads and glass beads. Yes, they're no. I don't think any of my fairies have plastic beads. I don't like that plastic look on it. So, and they're called micro beads, the glass micro beads. I have them in different colors, and I love using them.
Yeah, they definitely. I figured that they were because just of the look, the natural look that they have. One of the other questions I had, I saw one of your pieces. It's two fairies in white, one sitting in a tree and one sitting next to the tree, and the tree looks like it's wire that's wrapped and painted white.
Yes.
And you do all that work yourself, correct?
Yes, that's correct. I have the idea of how the tree should look like, and then I go make the frame, and I start um, building the wire around the metal frame, and there are also little LED lights in them. So it's all built in the tree. So in the bottom of the tree where the roots go, there's a little um clay part, and there in there and at the back of the tree you can get the batteries out of it, so the light can go on. So yeah, it's all made by me, and when the wire is around it, I paint it white. I just paint everything white. I don't know why it's white, but I guess I love white.
Well, it definitely works for the piece. It it really tight. Just the two fairies and the trees and how they're interacting. I was talking a little bit while we're trying to get you back. I love the expressions that you put in their faces. See,
Oh,
this is
thank
work.
you.
This is work you can definitely tell that you have a passion for. I've seen a lot of fairy work out there, and sometimes the faces look like they're mass produced. It's like the same face, just maybe slight differences, but each one of yours has their own personality and their own character, and I really love it when an artist pays attention to that kind of detail in their work, and I
Oh,
really
thank
do
you.
admire what you do.
Yes,
Um,
I always try to make them to give them a character of their own, but it also depends. Sometimes I just take what comes out of my hands. It's not always that I want to control the whole process. Sometimes I think it's just easier and go with the flow and see what comes out of the clay, and I like that part too. So I
yeah,
like
like
that.
with any creative process, there's sometimes when the piece or the work actually kind of takes on a life of its own and wants to go its own direction. I understand that
Yes.
completely. On your smaller fairies, I see on your website that they're all about 20 centimeters in height, correct?
Yeah, I think they're 20. Yes, that's okay.
Okay. What's the largest one that you created?
I made one that was larger, but it was just an experiment. It never appeared on my website. It was an experimental phase where I was when I don't know if you saw, but before a certain date, before 2008, I was more the anatomic. But they were more anatomically correct. I don't know how to say it, but um, in this, um, I don't know how it's called in English. Yeah, looking for the word. The legs were as long as a person, and the arms. But then I started to change all that, and now the legs are much longer, and the waist is really tight. And it was before I got to that. I had a lot of experiments, and there is one doll that is larger. I think it's 40 centimeters. I don't know. I have to say, but it's totally ugly. I'm not going to show that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was a mess.
you went from trying to make everything anatomically correct to more of a fanciful type of body shape, correct? Is what you're
Yes,
saying?
yes, yes.
Okay. I was going to ask you also, did you ever have a project that you started to do that just turned out to where you just, it was either hideous or you just, threw it away or, just had nothing else to do with it?
Yes, I didn't throw her away, but the sculpture I was just talking about, but she never got a name, and she's in my closet, in my not a closet, it's an here we call it a vitrine. I don't know, with the glass closet, so everyone can see it. And when I sometimes have visitors and they say, "Well, oh, that's cute," I'm like, "Oh no, it's not." But I'm like, okay, but I'm not going to throw her away. I think it's a bit, it's not having respect for what you do, and so she's just she's just there until the end, I guess.
Okay, so since you already said you sold the other two dolls that I really, really, really liked, tell me you still have Nightwish.
No,
Ah!
don't have her anymore.
My top three favorite ones. Ah,
Yeah.
they're all gorgeous though, that's for sure.
Thank you.
I'm looking through chat. Let's see here. Without giving away too many secrets, or even in too many details, what's the next fairy that you're gonna create, or the one you're working on, gonna be like?
I started 3 projects, and one of them is on a little a kind of chair uh, made with curly kind of roots. It's like really natural look, and there are all kind of things hanging on them, uh, um, little, I don't know, and glass beads glued on them. And there will be a fairy sitting on it in a pose for meditation. I don't know how it's called, a kind of yoga pose. Her legs are crossed over each other, and then her arms will be really open and elegant, and it's more in the colors white, but also with light green and dark green colors, and it's finished with, so it looks like there's moss. I don't know how you call it, moss.
Yeah, moss.
Moss. So it's moss on it, and she will have a really natural look, and it's inspired by an Asian photographer. It's Hiroshi Nonami. I really like his work. It's not exactly the same. It's not. There's no point in making exactly the same, but it's inspired by a work of art, I think. And, and then I have 2 others. One of them will be a large flower made of more abstract, not really realistic flower, but it's a lily. And I don't know. I think there will be a fairy sleeping in it. I don't know it yet, but I guess it will be. It's also a white lily. It's actually my favorite flower. It's a white lily, and with pink dots on it. I don't know if you know, but some lilies have these really pink dots inside of the flower, and she will be finished in those colors. So those are the next projects.
Okay, that's those both sound really amazing. And I want to ask you about the jewelry that you sell on your website with the fairy pictures in it and stuff like that. Do you actually craft the jewelry yourself?
Yes, I also do that. Yes.
Very
So
busy woman.
yeah, I know. It's a lot of work, a lot of hard work actually. To be honest, it's long evenings making those things, and at first I Photoshop those pictures, and then I craft them myself. And then I also want to use real leather for the necklaces, and real glass for the cabochons. So it's something that goes along with the sculpting, to use those natural materials and not using plastic ones.
Yeah, plastic has its place, but as far as I'm concerned, not in any true art. You know, it's
No, I
Nope.
agree. And if you spend so many hours on something, you just want to use really, really good materials, not the fake stuff. You just want to use real silk and real mohair or Tibetan lamb's wool or something. If you just want to use the right material. You just want to create a work of art, not just glue stuff on it. So
yeah. I'm looking at your piece called Jessica. It's the little blonde fairy sitting on a pedestal. She has some knee-high boots, high-heeled knee-high boots. She has a lot of oranges and browns in her. And I'm looking at the close-up of her face and the detail What medium do you use for the makeup and the the facial details?
I guess at that time I used acrylic, and but it's not really. How should I say it? It's not really very lasting. So I had to varnish every little the eyebrows. So I painted the eyebrows, and I had to varnish the eyebrows. So it doesn't come off, but I have to varnish with a glossy varnish, and I didn't really like that idea that I had the glossy varnish on it. So later on, I use Genesis paint. I don't know if you know them, but it's very cool paint actually, because it just fixes when you heat it up, and the temperature that you have to heat it up is exactly the same as the clay I use. So you can paint as long as you like. You can remove it and try it again. You know, when you're really happy with the result, I just put it in the oven for a last time, and then it's really fixed. So you can't scratch it off with your nail or something. It's really fixed. It's really cool.
So it bakes right in with the clay, and it's nice that you don't have the conflicts between the heat differences between the clay and what the paint utilize.
Yes, exactly.
It comes across beautifully. It really does, and I like the sheen, especially in the eyes. It definitely brings out like a lifelike quality.
Yes,
It
yes.
really
And
adds to the expression.
yeah, and the eyes are also painted. I never use glass eyes or, like I said, plastic eyes. They're always painted. I tried it once with pre-manufactured eyes, but I didn't like it. I don't know. But if I have to say, it's one of the hardest parts is to paint the eyes, because you can have a really beautiful sculpture, but when the eyes when that looks just crooked or something, it ruins everything. So it has to be exactly right, and then you have to you add the little dots of where the iris is coming and the pupil and everything. So that can take hours to finish, and to
Yeah.
have the second one exactly the same, it's not always very
But yeah, definitely I can see with each fairy that with each of the facial expressions, you definitely want the eyes to be unique and individualistic to each of the fairies. Definitely,
yeah.
definitely beautiful work. And also noticing the one that's called Freya. She's again a white fairy, but she looks like she's in a glass egg.
Yes, I
And you
made
have
that
a
special for my mother. And I don't know if you know have that mom, but moms have this thing about dust getting on their stuff.
yes.
So she was, I don't want any dust on my fairy. Can you make something in glass? She asked it for years actually. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna suffocate that fairy. But she really insisted on it. So, and then I found it on some marketplace. I found it secondhand, and I was like, okay, maybe this can work for my mom's fairy. And she was like, oh, that's great, that's great. So, and I
No
made a
dusting,
little
no
fairy
dusting.
house. Yeah.
I,
You see,
I
there's
could
a
see.
story behind every fairy.
Oh yeah. It appears like, especially when you're putting in many hours. I can imagine the hours that you put into it, and the detail, and the work and the passion you put into it. Yeah, each of them, I'm sure, has their own little story and their own little history. I I can relate to that. But yeah, Freya is one of my favorites, and just the fact that she's in that glass egg, just makes a beautiful display, and brings it all together quite well. And I'm sure your mom's happy that she doesn't have to dust the delicate little
Yeah.
fairy.
Yeah. Yeah, she's proud of it actually. She was allowed to tell me how she wanted it. So it's one of the rare things I did for her. So yeah, I mean for clients or so I'm not really into making dolls in commission, but of course you do that for your mom. She could tell me how she wanted it, and she was happy with it.
Yeah, moms are definitely exception. You've got to bend the rules for
Definitely.
them.
Yes, definitely.
So, do I understand you correctly? You do not do commission work, or have you done commission work and you just don't do it anymore?
I did it as an exception, actually. I told it before, but I think you missed that part. But I had a woman ask me for a commission, and I didn't really want to do it, but she was really ill, and she had a story, and I was like, okay, I want to do this for that woman, and I did it. But I don't know. I'm just it's for me. It's not satisfying. I don't know. I don't know. It's just they tell me how they want it, and yeah, I don't know. I just like to make them myself. Yeah, I have. I thought this before, but I have all these ideas, and I already have too little time to make everything that I want to make. So I don't need anyone to tell me what I should do with my time. That is already so. Um, so yeah,
I,
yeah.
They're definitely in it for the passion, not the profit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I work part-time as a web designer and a graphic designer. And I'm like, well, in that time that I work for my boss, and he can tell me what I want, and I'll make it for him. But when it comes to making my fairies, I want to do my own stuff. It's just what I do it for. It's not. It's just it's to show other people what's inside my head, how I see my ideas, how I see my fairy world, and that's the reason why I do it, to create something unique. That's something I want to accomplish, a very unique style and very unique work. It's not just to make something to sell or to get money. That's not the reason why I do it. Absolutely not. It's just to get something as unique as possible. That is so me that everyone can recognize it and can see what I'm about. So
I do want to thank you for giving us time and opportunity to have you on our show and to do this interview because I know, like you
oh
said, you're extremely busy.
yes, I am, but I'm very honored actually to do this. I think I have a really good time. It's really fun to do this. So the pleasure is
Even
all
with the
mine.
technical difficulties, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So,
I do have one question. Actually, I have a few more questions for you, but the one is was brought to my attention by someone else that your fairy lily or your sculpture lily, you have two fairies holding the little girl's dress up. How
yeah.
big are those fairies? Because I believe the fairy itself is only like what 20 centimeters or 25, and then those
No,
fairies
I
are even
think
smaller.
no, I think the large fairy is about 31 centimeters. The large fairy, and the other one that's holding the dress, that's smaller. I think it's about I have to say 17, 16 centimeters or something. But there's a story behind that too, because I made the lily. I made it for the competition in Holland in Ahoy. I think in 2003 or 2004. I'm not sure anymore what date it was, what year it was. But I had that idea and I made it for the competition. But then I wasn't with the 10 finalists, so I was really a bit sad. But okay, I understood. It wasn't that great at the time. There were other artists that were better. And then years later, I tried it again, the same concept for the competition, and it came out completely different. But it was made for the same competition, and the second time I won it. So I was really happy and proud about that.
Yeah, I just like how each of the fairies plus the little girl there all have their own facial expressions and they're all doing different things and just it's incredible how small you make these things.
Yes, they're really small. If you see them in reality, you actually get an idea of how small it actually is. I sometimes put my thumb next to the face so you can see the comparison, how small the face actually is. Sometimes it's smaller than a thumbnail. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that your so that is your thumb. I was wondering whose thumb it was in a couple of the
Yes.
pictures you're using for size comparison. I was wondering whether that's her thumb or not. But yeah,
Yes.
it's just,
It's
yeah.
my thumb with the camera in one hand, and then and then it's like, okay,
Well,
trying 10 times to take a picture before I have a right one.
well, I've done dioramas before and worked with miniatures, and I understand and highly respect your skill and your craft for the detail and what you're able to accomplish on that scale.
Thank
I understand the difficulties of working with that scale, and yeah, you do a beautiful work.
Thank you. A lot of people ask me if I use, oh, how do you call it? Some glass to
Magnifying glass.
magnifying glass, but I don't use that. I just do
you
it.
you have better vision than I do because I always worked under magnification when working with dioramas and miniatures.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
It's funny that you said that because I actually used to be asked the same question because I used to make fishing flies, and you know how
Oh,
tiny those can be.
yes,
That's
yes.
like a quarter of the size of a dime, and they're really small. And people used to always ask me, use magnifying glass or use one of those goggle headsets that you can magnify it. No, I did it all with my natural sight and natural hand, and working on stuff that small, even these fairies, takes very steady hand and um,
Yes. Yes.
it,
Yes, I'm sometimes I'm so I can be very, very clumsy. I always laugh at with my one of family members and can be so extremely clumsy of dropping things on the floor and dropping pens and pencils and everything. But I never drop a fairy. I don't know what that's about, but I never drop them, and I have really steady hands, and I don't know but it's just funny how clumsy you can be, and then I'm just laughing like, yo, like everyone's thinking, oh, she has these amazing hands, and you see how I drop things all the time. It's funny.
now how because I noticed on a few of the fairies. In fact, the one I'm looking at now is Zara. The wings are almost see-through. How thin do you have to get that material in order to make it see-through, or as close as possible?
That Sarah I made, it's liquid Fimo. It's actually some substance. It's kind of gel, and you can bake it also on the same temperature as the clay. It's and then you just spread it out on some aluminium uh, paper, and you spread it out and you bake it, and you get a really nice look and transparent feel to it. But like I said, all my wings have different techniques. Like Dark Nature has silk wings. It's this one right now. She has silk wings, and I normally don't use silk for the wings because it's not easy to make wings of them. But yeah, they have all different techniques, and I want to make them as transparent as possible. But it's not always easy. And like I said, I haven't found the perfect technique yet for the perfect wing. That's why they're all different, because over the years I'm always trying to make the perfect wing, but I never have it perfect like I have it in my mind. Like that's it. No, I just keep on searching for new techniques. So I hope to be able to find it one day.
Yeah, you were talking about you do graphic design. You also do a lot with the fairies, of course. How would you feel if someone approached you, like in the movie industry or something like that, that they were wanting to do one of these like 3D graphic movies, but they wanted to involve like fairies and stuff like that?
Oh, that's my biggest dream. I really, it's my biggest dream. I'm like, I hugely admire the movies and everything that Tim Robbins makes. Is it Tim Robbins? Is it? the one that works with Johnny Depp. Well, I'm a little bit nervous. That's why I keep forgetting names and words.
You're doing
I don't
fine.
know. Oh my God, I'm really forgetting forgetting his name. But Johnny Depp and those movies are really graphic.
You're talking about the Tim Burton.
Tim Burton. I said Tim Robbins. No, it's Tim Burton. Tim Burton. I'm really an admirer of Tim Burton. He really
Yeah,
has this
definitely.
style and this atmosphere, and I'm like, oh, that would be such a dream to not to be able to work with him, but just to have a movie with the atmosphere and the characters of my work. That would just be awesome. But it has to have the right atmosphere too, and the story that fits that fits with the fairies. Not just like some shooting and action hero movie where some fairies are in it, but just really with everything right.
Uh,
Yeah, that's something I
I
would.
was gonna. Well, the reason I wanted to ask you that is because I actually have a friend of mine who he doesn't do like the big name movies or anything, but what he does is uh, like the movie trailers and in-game movies for like video games and stuff like that. And he's actually working now on a game for young girls. It's going to be fairies and
Oh,
unicorns and all
really?
that. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think he would love your work. I haven't talked to him in a week or so because he's been so busy on that. But I think I'm going to shoot him an email with some of your work in it. Be like, you know what? She does graphic design too. See if
Yeah.
can't get him to get in touch with you.
Oh, that would be awesome. Really? Oh, I would like that idea. That's a great idea. You should
So,
really get in touch with each other.
so do you have a mythos, a mythology with your fairies? I mean, do you have the whole world worked out for where they come from and their history?
No, not really. No, but I have a world in my head, and I can visualize really well. And then it's just in my head, and it's dark. It has moonlight, and it has fog, and I don't know. It sounds really a bit cold, but it has a certain serenity in it, and I really have it the complete image in my head of how it should look, but I don't. It's not like every character has a history or a past. That's not the case like a Tolkien book or something. I don't have that or a history, but it's more like an atmosphere, I think, that I have created in my head, and then I want to show to the rest.
And the fairies are more of a representation of that atmosphere. But yeah, the
Yes,
etherealness of each one, and especially with some of the wing work that you do, I thought for sure that you would have a mythology and the whole world worked out in every detail because of the amount of detail you put in each piece.
yes, yes, yes. It's true. Most of the time, it's like I have this idea that comes popping in my head, but the details is more like comes from this world. Because yeah, it's really weird because in my imagination they're really ethereal. They're not how call it, they are not materialized. They are foggy. They are ethereal, and yeah. Uh, can you have a second because my dog is barking
Yeah, go
sometimes.
ahead.
Just a small second.
I have one last question to ask her, Dr. Stone. So, if you got any more that you want to eat up time with,
How
or
much longer did you want to go with?
like I told her, as long as she wants. She said she's willing to do 2 hours. So,
I have a few more. And
I'm so sorry. I'm back.
oh, that's okay. It gave us time to discuss questions and
get our
Yeah,
strategies in line.
I I told him before. I hope she's not going to bark, but okay. She was. I think
we were
so.
talking about her earlier and how much she's contributed to your work. So it's you know it's fair to get her on too. So
Yes,
that's
yes, of course,
speaker.
that's right.
Go ahead, Tiny. You said you had a question.
Yeah, I have one last question that am going to ask you. Dr. Stone said he had a few more, so I'm going to ask this one, and I'm going to sit back and let Dr. Stone take over for a while. Um, First off, I want to thank you again for being on and setting aside the time, because I know you're extremely busy with the jewelry, the work, the fairies, the thinking about it, drawing them. Everything takes so much time. But in that same aspect, I know almost all artists plan on doing something huge at some point in their career. Is Do you plan on doing like even if it's not a huge fairy, but just like something that takes years and years to do, just like a huge plan there, or
Oh yes, yes. I have a lot of plans and a lot of dreams, really. Um, I really would like to get more to give people an event where they can have the whole atmosphere, where there's not maybe an exhibition or something, but it's like, yeah, I don't know, Disneyland. Disneyland is
There
big
you go.
enough. Is that big enough? No, I'm just
It's
kidding.
about
It's
as
not,
big as
not
you can get. That's for sure.
yeah, exactly. No, but not really an amusement park or something, but just an event where you get a lot of different rooms where everybody can enjoy, and there will be smells and fairy music and dolls, fairies flying over your head, and with a lot of, I don't know. I have a lot of dreams.
the way you're describing it, it actually sounds like one of the events that they put on here. That this guy, for Christmas time, he turns his entire yard and stuff into, and he's got a huge yard, like 4 or 5 acres, and he turns it into like a Christmas theme where people, they walk into his yard and they walk around, and first you got like the shop, and then you got this, and you got that, and then there's another guy that is in, I want to say, Kentucky. When I was up there, he actually had a farm that he turned into what he called around the world themed, and like as you're walking through it's like you're changing to different atmospheres. You're going to different. One area was set up like a jungle, and another area, and that's what you. That sounds like you're wanting to do, is
Yeah,
set up your fairies to
yeah,
where people can not just see them, but go in there and experience how that fairy would live with
yeah.
like backgrounds, and then go to the next area with another fairy set up that way, which I
Yeah,
think that'd be
exactly.
amazing.
It would be a really more like an experience. Now it's just like a sculpture, but that would be really an experience, like everything surrounded by you with berries, and I would also like to well, if I'm dreaming, and I would also like to travel the world with it. So not really at my house, so only people from around here could see it, but I would go all over the world with it. So yeah, dreams.
I would love to see a traveling show of yours, you know, like you were talking about creating the whole atmosphere with music, fairies flying around and being displayed and everything. That would be quite a show to see. I would definitely
Yeah.
go to see it. Yeah.
I'll let you
I'll,
know in a couple of
yeah,
years.
I'll see. I've got your website bookmarked, so I'll be looking for your international show when you get it going.
Okay.
Now, I've noticed that everything that you do so far has been in like a vignette. Have you worked on like a larger scene before with the fairies? Or
What do you
what
mean
is the
with
largest one that you've done?
what do you mean with the scene for the sculpture itself?
Well,
How
the whole the whole scene of like I'm looking at one now with Luna Ivania, and she's asleep sitting in this looks like a from the picture I think it looks like almost like a goblet that's
yeah, the glass
or a
goblet.
okay with those tiny little beads all around. But I was wondering, and mainly is, do you do larger pieces with more than just one or two fairies in the scene?
I think for now, I think I have it's Lily. I have three fairies in it, one large one and two. But yeah, most of the time that's the largest I did right now. Yeah. But I have this idea. Maybe for there's an annual exhibition in Holland that I participate in every year, and it was in April. But I had this great idea for this year, but I couldn't finish it. But maybe next year. And I was I was thinking about making a big box, a large box with a small hole on the front, so people have to look in it, and it's really dark, and they get. I have this little fog machine with the water bowl and etc. So you get the whole atmosphere and the little sound with it. So that would be a total theme, and I would love to make that. It would be a big box, like a meter square or something, a cube from a meter. But that's just an idea. But,
Like peeking into their world for just.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
I
just speaking
like
in
that
what.
idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that would be.
you get the small version of the big dream I just had.
There you go.
Yeah.
Instead of walking through their world, you're peeking into their world.
Yes.
What you would have to do then is, instead of doing it a box, I mean, you could start off with it as a box, but turn the box into like a tree trunk or something like that, and make the hole that they're peeking through like a little knot hole.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can do that too.
Make it more believable that you're peeking into their world.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea.
That is good job tying. Bring that artistic person out of you sooner or later. Well, I don't know if this has been asked of you or not, because again, apologize for me being late. But do you have a favorite fairy out of all the ones you've done?
Yes, Anais is my favorite one. She's the one sleeping in the metal wire cocoon with the little light. She's also in the at the top of my webpage. She's on every.
Oh, okay. Oh, the one
Yeah,
with the microlights. Okay.
yeah,
Beautiful.
that's my favorite.
I can
She,
see why.
yeah, she has the right atmosphere. The really gentle and serene atmosphere. I think she has that most.
Now, I've noticed that some of your fairies, I know I said I was only going to ask one more question, but I'm looking more at your website.
That's
Some of your
okay.
some of your fairies don't have posters that where people can buy. Is that because you're planning on using that fairy, or you ain't completely finished with the fairy, or is it just because you haven't had time to make a poster up with that fairy?
Yeah, I just made a selection of the work that I like most, and I made posters of them. But I have to admit that the ones I still have, I can take my pictures now. I when I finished the photography lessons, so I studied photography now, but the ones I sold, I don't have them anymore. And then I realized that when I look at those pictures now that I took back then, they don't have that quality to make a poster of it. So that's kind of a problem, but I don't know. Um, but when somebody would ask me a poster of another fairy, I would just consider it. I would just take a look at it if it's possible to make a poster out of it. It's not a problem.
Yeah, because I would like to see a poster that has, I'm going to butcher the name, Elendra and Annabelle both in the same, like, poster.
Oh yeah. Okay, I still have those. It's yeah, Ilundra. She's one of my favorites. I made her in a lot of years ago, but she has this relaxed attitude, and I, I I think Annabelle is a bit of her sister, so she goes along. They just sit together in my tree. So well, I could do that. That's not a problem.
Yeah, because I mean, they almost it's something about them. They look alike to where they could be family, and yet they
Yeah,
both also look like they have completely different attitudes. The one's like positive, negative type attitude.
yeah. I don't know. I think Annabelle is kind of relaxed and feeling quite happy, and sometimes, and Alundra is actually. I think she's more enlightened. I don't know. Yeah, she has. They do have their own character. I don't know. It's just the feel that you get when you look at them. You just. I think maybe they're all just a part of me. I don't know. I think they're all tiny parts of me. When I look at them, I see a part or a characteristic of myself.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at over all your fairies the past few weeks to even a month ago when I first started seeing your work, I'm sitting there thinking some of these fairies. It looks like you were trying to create. I don't know if you were trying to, or if it just worked out that way, but it was like um, almost even pairs or family groups. Because like Moth and Antoinette look like, even Iris in that group look like they can all be either part of the same family or into a
Yeah,
setup.
I think it has to do with the same period in what period I made them, because like I said, I started 3 projects now, and most of the time they end up looking a bit the same. It's because you have this idea and it crawls into the three of them, and then they're not exactly the same, of course, but you get the same kind of look of family feel, like you explained it, but it's just maybe it's like Picasso had his blue face, and I have that face of the white and of using a kind of style. And I almost think when I also try to finish and make one fairy at a time, because of that problem. Well, as it is a problem when it's a problem, but I like to finish one at a time, so I'm more sure that it gets a different look. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah, because and even though I mean I've looked at all your posters and I'm having a hard time deciding which ones to buy, but um, have you
You take
thought
your time.
have you thought about doing like images to where or the posters where you could have like an individual poster and it would look fine and everything, but if you would buy a second poster or even a third poster and put them side by side, it would make a full scene or even a larger scene.
So you get one poster with different pictures in
Well, it's like one like you start off just get one poster, and
Like a collage.
it's one fairy and it's got one background and everything. And if you buy another poster and you put it right next to it, it like it expands the picture. It makes it into a larger image where the backgrounds are the same, or it almost like fitting a puzzle pieces together.
Yeah, they fit together. I think so too. I was all because I haven't bought frames yet to put them in my own living room, but I was also thinking about putting three of the posters next to each other, and they fit perfectly together. So I like that idea that they go along with each other. I think it's quite important that it's not too different.
Another good idea from Tyne. As if you didn't have enough work to do now, we're giving you ideas to run with it.
Yeah, give me some more work. I need work.
But I like that idea as well as, kind of like creating a collage out of different posters to create one, master picture. That would be cool. Very cool. You could do, like you were talking about earlier, frame them off. It would really add to a wall. I have a wall right now that needs some artwork on it. I would love to have something like that with your fairies.
All right, I'll let you go at it, Dr. Stone. Go ahead and ask your questions now.
Okay. Well, actually, you pretty much have answered all of them. I don't want to go into any great detail because I know each artist has their little secrets, and I don't want to tread in anything sensitive. But I I've really thoroughly enjoyed going through your website, going through the pictures. Kind of saddened that I can't buy lots of certain ones. It's like I was looking at these like my wife would love this one, I want that one. But I do understand you want to keep the quality, the uniqueness of each, and I definitely understand and respect that. But at least it's good to know that there's posters and there's some way of obtaining printed work of your sculptures and everything. But again, thank you for coming on and talking with us and going into detail. Moth. I finally found Moth on your website. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Each time Tyne has been mentioning one by name, I'm going through the website as fast. Okay, where's that one? Where's that one? I need to see that one.
Yeah.
And then another one will catch my eye, and I'll forget what I was originally looking for. But it's just, I really am impressed with the uniqueness of each one and the detail. Nightwish, I can see why Tyne wanted that one. That one I like.
Yeah, she's popular actually.
And Sylvana, I like the fact on Sylvana, the outfit that you're wearing, that she's wearing, is kind of see-through, and you can see that she's wearing like a little pair of panties underneath it. It definitely gives her that wild, sultry, fairy type of look there. And I love her expression as well, that no nonsense, oh, I don't care, maybe I do, maybe I don't. You're a true fairy type of attitude. But very, very, very gorgeous. If I may ask, what is the longest a fairy has taken you to complete?
Oh. I just the sculpture I'm working on right now, it's the little chair, like I mentioned, and I just a few days ago I put the date at the back when I started it, and it said 2010. So we're talking now 2013. So I started 3 years ago. So I hope she's finished in a couple of weeks.
So that would definitely be
3 years.
Well, looking forward to. Now, do you put pictures of all of your fairies? Is this a complete collection of all your work, or there's some that you have not taken pictures yet and put up on your website?
There are a few that I know when. You see, the problem is when I put them on my website, I'm sure I'm going to get emails that somebody wants to buy them. So I just keep them like a little secret with me. And when I'm ready to sell them, I will put them on the website when I want to sell them. But there are also a few there's only one actually that's two that are actually not so good looking, so I'm not so proud of them. I don't put them on the website. And a few others that were older, some older work that you now realize, oh wow, that wasn't so great after all when I look at it now. So because otherwise you get a lot of pages on the website, but most of them, yeah, what I make comes on the website. It's not that I have tons and tons of other fairies sold, and they're not on the website. No, that's not the thing.
Now, those couple of gem fairies that you have that you don't want to put up there that you're keeping secret to yourself, when you do come time to sell them, when you do decide to sell them, don't put them on the website. You have my email. Go ahead and email me.
As you can tell, we're trying to get you to shake loose a few.
Yeah, I know.
Tyne, I hate to do this, but I do have to get going.
Okay.
Kathleen, it has been an absolute pleasure to get a chance to talk with you. And
Yes, it was a pleasure for me too. Thank you very much.
you're quite welcome. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of your work. And good luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was really a pleasure for me. Really enjoyed myself.
Okay, but yeah, I hate to go, but I have to. But take care and be seeing more of your work in the future. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you. Take care. Bye.
All right. Is there anything that you want to talk about as to tell the people or anything else, or because I'm all out of questions for now. I mean, I could look through your page and get a ton more, but I don't want to hold you too long. Other than that, I do want to say thank you for coming on, and you are always welcome back. Just let me know if you want to come back on another time, another day. You're always welcome.
Okay, you're very welcome. I don't have anything to tell you anymore. I think I told everything. Not everything, but the the most important stuff. But yeah, I would like to tell everyone, just go check out my website and be sure to leave your email address. You get a regular email from me with all the news and the new stuff that I'm making and all the exhibitions I'm participating in. So be sure to leave your email address.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and end the show now. Like I told you before, you can come back, listen to it yourself, or tell your friends to come listen to it, and they can listen to the interview. It's right on our website that I gave you, and I'm going to go ahead and post your website real quick for everyone to see, as well as post it in the chat, so that way it's there for all eternity. People can go check it out.
Oh, that's great. I will let everyone know. I will post it on my Facebook and my Twitter and my everything, so they know where to find you and your interviews.
Let me change that. Do that. No. Trying to change the color to where people can see it in the chat window or in the video.
I can see it.
Yeah, I'm just want to make sure everyone can see and read the full. Oops. There we go. So now I have it across the screen as well, so people go check out the website. I'm telling you now, you will definitely enjoy yourself on it. It's been a pleasure having you on, and it's been even more of a pleasure to check out all your goodies that you have on your website. And like I said, I will be ordering 2 or 3. I'm probably gonna have to wait until the 1st. And when I do order, is there a spot in the shopping cart area where I can add a comment and be like, I want you to autograph these, please?
I think there is. I will remember your name. I will remember that. I will put my signature on the back of the. Oh, you want it on the front
Um,
or on the back?
I don't know, cause like I think it'd be better on the front with some of these. Because like it's hard to say, because I don't want to ruin the beauty of the image, but it's like if I do, if the person that wins it frames it, I don't want the autograph to be hidden either. So
Yeah, you can think about that, and you just let me know. You can take your time.
okay, well, again, thank you for coming on. It was a blast having you. I want to thank everyone that tuned in, for checking us out, for asking the questions. If anyone does have any more questions for you, can they leave you a comment on your website? Is there a link there to?
Yes, you can put a lot of comments. Every page has the ability to put a comment on it. So
Okay, yeah, I see contact now, so that
yeah,
goes.
there's also a contact page. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So everyone go check her out. Leave her comments if you got any more questions for her. I'm going to go ahead and call the show. Thank you. It wasn't quite 2 hours, but it went long enough.
Yeah.
I know you got more work to do, and I know it's getting late for you there, so and it's finally hitting noon here, so.
Yeah, okay. So you're awake now. Okay, thank you very much for everything, and we'll keep in touch. I will email you when I have something new.
All right, thank you. On behalf of everyone here, I want to say goodbye to everyone else. The show is over. Yay!
Ricey K, the Raisin Man.
What? Game over. Game over. This life is a pitfall. You either make it over or get tossed into the abyss. Life is a so don't miss the opportunity to make a difference while you here. Ain't no extra lies when you die, cause death interferes with your plans. The sands of time don't even show up. Hold up, don't lose it, better land mines before you blow up. You know what? I question these blocks like what's inside of it. Lies being lost in this world, and a lot of it got to do with your mindset. When you gonna start to select the right settings, the controllers in your heart. I'm trying to spark confidence, it ain't about prominence. Bleeding over colors, capture the flag for dominance. Duty stars calling in the form of a halo, telling fables of angels and cheating up can enable a glitch. So you can try to crack the code if you like, but when that clock strikes zero, that's the end of your life. So game over.
Game over.
Game over.
Game over.
Game over.
Game
Ain't no
over.
extra lives when you die, just game over.
Game over.
Game over.
Game over.
Game over.
Game over.
Don't you run out of time, but game over.
Game over.
Game over.
Game over.
Game over.
Game
Ain't no extra lives when you die, just game over.
Grab the coins, we got money to get. Achievement unlocked, I need 100%. They say success is a wonderful feeling, so I gotta put it down. So every single one is convinced, thought we was one up, preparing to live a long life. Then my homie lost his life for hitting the wrong pipe. I kinda find it retarded though, how these weak rappers stay lying in articles. I peep the whole picture like they dealing in particles. Now I'm the glitch, like Vanilla be a small fiery Mario. Even stars don't stay alive, I stay ahead of my time like 1080i and 85. Ain't no resets, extra life, we all walking the same path, left to right, and everyone feel tension. Like a first person shooter, remember that Rand's got an Unreal Engine. They say that life's a game, indefinite, you gotta take the cards you dealt, you can't change it in the preferences. Been through a bit on the sticks, now you face two options, continue or quit. Too bad the moment of clarity ain't before the hand.